If you've had a physical in the last 2 years and walked out being told you're fine, I need you to hit something. You may not be fine, your doctor may not know that, and the system that they're working inside of makes it nearly impossible for them to find out. I'm Theo Jones, a nurse practitioner and the founder of Week in White Coat, a concierge and executive health practice based in Baltimore. And I've spent years inside the traditional health system, and I've spent years building something outside of it. And today I want to talk about something that affects almost every high performing professional I know: the gap between what a standard physical test for and what actually predicts your future. This isn't about fear, this is about information. Let's get into it. So, what does a standard physical actually cover? A typical annual physical runs basic metabolic panel, a standard lipid panel, which is total cholesterol, LDL, HDL, triglycerides. We do blood pressure, BMI, and maybe a complete blood cell count. That's it in a 15-minute appointment with a provider who sees 25 patients a day. Now, I'm not here to bash primary care at all. I work in primary care. They're working inside a broken system. Insurance billing codes, productivity quotas, liability constraints, these all shape what gets ordered and what doesn't. The problem isn't the provider, the problem is the architecture. Here's the critical issue. Most of those standard tests are designed to catch problems that already exist. They are reactive, not predictive. You're getting a snapshot of today, not a forecast of the next decade. Think of it like this. Imagine you hire a financial advisor and their entire strategy review is: you checked your bank balance this morning and it's positive, so you're fine. No review of your investment allocation, your liability exposure, your long term risk trajectory, your risk profile. Just balance is positive. You're good. You fire that advisor immediately, but that's essentially what a standard physical is doing for your health. The tests that actually matter, let me walk you through those. These 6 markers that I consider essential for any adult over 35, especially executives and high performers under chronic stress. These are not exotic. They are just evidence based. They are just not routinely ordered. The first test is apolipoprotein B. This is the actual count of your dangerous lipoprotein particles in your blood. Your standard LDL number is a concentration measure. It can look normal while your actual particle count is dangerously elevated. ApoB tells you what LDL hides. It is a superior predictor of cardiovascular risk. Test number 2, lipoprotein little a. This is a genetically determined cardiovascular risk factor. You either have elevated lipo A or you don't. Lifestyle doesn't change it. Roughly 20% of the population carries it at high levels and has no idea. You only need this test. Carotid intima-media thickness. This is a non-invasive ultrasound that measures actual changes in your arterial walls. Not a blood marker, physical structural evidence of cardiovascular aging. This is years ahead of a cardiac event showing up. Fasting insulin, not just fasting glucose. Glucose levels are late stage insulin resistance. Insulin tells you what's coming. Metabolic dysfunction develops years, sometimes a decade before blood sugar moves. If we're waiting for your glucose to be abnormal, we've already lost the battle. High sensitivity C-reactive protein. This measures systemic inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is implicated in cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, cancer, and accelerated aging. It is driven by sleep, stress, diet, and metabolic health. All things that high performers are often silently dysregulating. Test number 6, a DEXA scan. Not a scale, not BMI. DEXA measures actual body composition: visceral fat, lean muscle mass, and bone density. Visceral fat is a major independent predictor of metabolic and cardiovascular risk, and you cannot see it in the mirror or measure it with a BMI. So why aren't these tests a part of every annual physical? Well, there's a few reasons. Reason number 1, insurance reimbursement. Many advanced panels aren't covered unless they're already a diagnosed condition. The system pays to treat, not to prevent. Reason number 2, time. Interpreting advanced diagnostics requires context, nuance, and time. A provider seeing 30 patients a day does not have the bandwidth to go deep on every result. Reason number 3, training. Many clinicians were not trained in advanced lipidology or metabolic medicine. This isn't a criticism, it's a gap. And what medical education historically prioritizes. Reason number four, the absence of problems. If your standard markers look normal, there is no clinical trigger to dig deeper. The system rewards finding disease, not preventing it. This is exactly why the executive health model exists. When you're working with a provider who has time, who has no insurance constraints, and has sole incentive in your long term health outcome, the conversation changes entirely. So, what does an executive health evaluation look like? Let me walk you through what I actually do in executive health diagnostic intensive. First, we start with a 90-minute intake that covers your full history, not just medical history, but occupational stress, sleep architecture, nutritional patterns, family history going back 2 generations, travel load, and current performance markers like focus and energy. Then we move on to a comprehensive physical examination, not a 5 minute check of reflexes and blood pressure, a full head to toe assessment. We then run advanced labs, including the markers I just walked you through, plus a full hormone panel, a thyroid cascade, micronutrient markers, and more depending on your profile. We consider a full body scan, head to toe. We follow a 60-minute results review session after all of these things come back. We go through every single marker, especially the ones that says result range typically. We build a full picture of where you are and where you're headed. The output is a written health intelligence brief, your risk profile, your optimization priorities, and the prevention roadmap. That's what a real evaluation looks like. The annual physical isn't going anywhere. It's a starting point. But if you are a high performing adult, if the decisions that you make daily affect people, organizations, or outcomes that matter, your health deserves more than a starting point. You do detailed due diligence before a business decision. Your biology deserves the same standard. If you're interested in the executive health diagnostic intensive, the link is in the description below. I work with a small number of clients, so availability is limited, but start with the link. Take a look at it, see what it includes. And if it resonates, apply for the consultation. If not, I'll see you in the next video.